Hey everybody, Hugh here. Welcome back. Well, it's early April, and as you can see, the sun has returned to the courtyard, and the staging area is basking in some lovely April sunshine. And it's just lovely, just lovely. It's like the 6 months darkness has finished. You can see there's plenty of flowers and colour going on there. We'll go into the colour in a couple of minutes. We'll give you a tour of the actual colour itself, but just to give you an overview of the courtyard itself before we do a bit more in depth, just to show how great the colour is now. That's great. Great time of year. It really is. You see the hazy sunshine being picked up on the phone. Lovely. It's just perfect, isn't it? Let's take a look at the staging area. The area we call the staging area. You can see it's been reassembled after the March cleanup, and we've moved the spring flowers in, some of the autumn grasses and winter conifers and that were there have been moved to their spring summer residence, and the rotation of colour has begun. You can see some of the early daffodils, or narcissi, miniature daffodils, are just going over. Plenty of deadheadings, still some colour on them, but they're just going over. Don't worry, there is pots to replace them. The tulips are in bud and just beginning to come in, and some of the mid and later daffodils and narcissi have come into colour very nicely. These pink pom-poms in the copper bowl Dad made are looking absolutely superb, aren't they? These are a Bellis, one of the Bellis daisies, and normally we do these in red, but as you would have seen in one of the earlier videos from March, we were saying no, we came across these ones, a pack of 6 of them were €3 or something, so it's like, wow, they're impressive, and I tell you, they haven't failed. They are the centre stage, and they're great for colour at this time of year. The Bellis daisies, they really complement the narcissus and the tulips and all of that sort of colour, which is superb. A little Arabis alpine, one of the areas we're talking about doing a little bit more of is alpines. We don't have a huge alpine selection or collection here, but probably greenhouse over there will make a perfect place to have some nice pots just like that for a bit of colour. It'll have an open door, so it'll be a cool grow house. You can see some of Judith's colourful stones looking as well as ever, and of course a little bit of artwork we picked up on a tile over winter featuring there as well. Some of the muscari flowering away. Those guys start to flower in March and they really go on till April. They've been in that bowl 2 years now, so we need to split them, but not today, as the saying goes. Some double narcissus, very colourful, paper whites. They came in a small bowl, and basically a little bit of feeding, as we do with all our bulbs in the spring and summer, early summer, and they've come back tremendously well. Surprisingly so, actually. I'm surprised, because I thought we neglected them a little bit. The Jetfire narcissus, stunning as always, but again, some deadheading. Of course, many of you that follow me here know about the deadheading. We do it, but I left some of these on. In fact, I left most of them on. The storm ravaged them recently, but what you're doing is removing the seed head, so the growth goes back into the bulb. So you're basically just pinching that off. And of course, leave the greenery as it is, give the plant some nice feeding, and liquid feed once every 10 days is perfect to build up the bulbs, to build up the plant strength, so as the bulbs die back in the summer, you'll be building up the bulb strength. So fairly easy, with a little bit of liquid feeding, and it'll keep them right. You can see one of Judith's pots that she got, a few different little anemones and brunnera and so on. She assembled last spring. It's come back again very nicely indeed. Pierre is the forest flame. White flowers are proving popular with some of the bees, and of course the real colour is just about to come on with those flame red foliage leaves. So the forest flame, and isn't that magnificent? Look at that. My words of no, daffodils should be yellow are coming back to haunt me when I'm seeing all of these lovely colours being brought in. I was like, they can be any colour once they're yellow. But you can see there's all sorts of really beautiful. The urn, the rocking chair and the urn, and again some more daffodils beginning to go over. They've been battered by the winds and the March winds and storms, and yet they continue. And aren't they looking well? And more of it. Bulb colour there. That's the smaller Photinia red robin. So the fresh young red foliage there is coming on very nicely on that little miniature plant stand. The rhubarb that we did in the plants for free, so you can see it there, has rooted really well and has come along really well. It needs to go into a bigger pot now, of course, and we'll get that to happen. And there's the red bellis that we got last autumn for the copper bowl. Very showy, very nice indeed, but the pinks, they're semi-double, so insects coming along will be able to access whatever they need from there, whereas the pink ones are big pom-poms, so there's no way the insects would have to work very hard to get anything out of them. Some of the heathers we got just after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year's, we got them for knockdown price. I think there's only, whatever, was it, €1 or €2 for each one of them. So there's 3 in that bowl there, and they're coming on very, very nicely. Heathers are often grown for their winter flowers, autumn winter flowers, but I knew some of these varieties, and I was saying when they burst into colour in the spring, they're going to be fabulous, and they're not disappointing. The pot pond, lovely feature now. You can see the lily is up and some of the irises are there as well. Haven't managed to get any goldfish for them yet. And then the willow behind, the little miniature weeping willow behind. So just really enjoying this area. Again, more daffodils and a couple of plants in behind. But it really is, it's all about the bulb colour now, isn't it? Smashing. The back of the gateweed ivy's hanging there all winter. They're taking in some rest and relaxation in the grow houses over there beyond. We'll do some more tours of those over coming weeks. There's so much going on now. And this area we're calling the rejuvenated area, where it did look very different. I don't know how many times it featured in the videos last year, but we gave it a good clean out over winter. And then Judith was saying, let's put the daffodil, or let's put the tulips there, make it a nice tulip area for spring. And I was like, oh, what a great idea. I was like, look at that. So we're walking out our front door, and that's one of the views that we see. There's Smudge. Come on. Hey, Smudgies. She loves the whistle. So there's the views that we see. Isn't it just fantastic? What a great time of year. What a great time of year. As always, thanks for stopping by. Do like and subscribe. And of course, helpful comments are always welcome. I'm using the YouTube just as a sort of a video diary, really. So if there's particular questions you want me to address, do ask. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep showing colour and where things are actually at. But if there's anything I can help with around how do we do things, how do we lay it out, what sort of tips and hints you'd look for, let me know, and sure we'll see what we can do there. All the best for now. See you in the next one. God bless. Bye bye.